All right, good evening, everybody. Well, I should say good afternoon. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We are reporting live from the Upper West Side of Manhattan, specifically Riverside Park. This is one of my favorite locations in all of New York City, and very seldom here on the live stream do we ever get to come over here. Obviously, as you know, if you've been watching Walks on Wall Street for a while, we usually do these streams at night, right around 8:30. And it's very dark over here, so you really can't see anything. So very, very seldom do we ever. In my schedule today, I was on the Upper West Side, potentially visiting a client who was interested in listing his apartment for sale. So since I was in the neighborhood, I thought I might as well do a walking tour of the Upper West Side and explain all of the beautiful things about living on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Now again, like I said, we are sitting in Riverside Park. That's one of my favorite things about the neighborhood, because not only do you have the option and you have the ability to hang out in the greatest park in the entire world, Central Park, but if you head west, you run into another very exclusive and I would say lesser known park in New York City. Not a lot of tourists, not a lot of foot traffic, but very, very expansive and beautiful. And we are going to be doing a quick walking tour of Riverside Park today. Give me 1 second. Oh, is the internet bad? Hold on, let me see. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. Thumbs up or thumbs down. There may be iffy internet over here. All right, good. All right, so let's get started. I will pick up my bag. All right, so just a few housekeeping items, everybody. Tonight we are going to be live. We are going to be doing our normal walk, and it's going to be a very important week on Wall Street. It is the heart of earnings season, and as we know, as we're right on the West Side Highway here, one of the major things about the start of earnings season is we have all of the major banks and financial companies reporting earnings. We heard from the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon. We heard from Citi. We heard from Bank of America this morning. So on tonight's live stream, we're going to be doing a deep dive into each and every single one of those earnings reports. And it's important. It's going to be very, very important. I was on the majority of those calls, as anybody has access to them. Right, if you just go to the investor relations page of any of these mega banks or any publicly traded company, if you request access to the conference call, they will drop a link to the call, and then you can get access to all of the PDF documents, the financial filings, the 10Ks, the 10Qs, and the like. And there was some positive things about this earnings season as it relates to the major investment banks. But there was also some major negatives, which we're not going to talk about right now, but we will talk about tonight on the stream. So we're going to cross the street here. This is 95th Street. And notice how quiet and beautiful it is up here. It's really nice. The leaves are changing colors. Looks like they're doing a lot of construction work on a lot of these older style buildings here. It's kind of nice. Hey, Michelle K is here. I see Sally, Dave in Maine. What's going on, everybody? I'm assuming almost everybody's at work, so hopefully, this will provide you with a little bit of a nice break from your work day. I do have about an hour and a half gap. I see Austin City Limits is here. Good to see you. We're going to walk up one block and then we're going to make a right. That should take us to West End Avenue from Riverside Drive. But it's nice to come up here and explore. It's a very pretty neighborhood, Beautiful area, very quiet. And if you live on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, again, as I've explained at the very beginning of the live stream, not only do you have the opportunity to take advantage of living just blocks away from Central Park, but you also live just a stone's throw away from Riverside Park, which is right on the Hudson River. So it's an amazing sort of best of both worlds environment you have here. And you have some of the best restaurants in the entire city, right on Amsterdam and Columbus Avenue. It's an amazing, amazing area. Hey, Daniel G is here. What's up? This is lunchtime with a nice walk. Good to see you, Daniel. Kathy R is here. What's up? RJ. Thanks for joining. Hey, Ryan Beck is here. What's up? Good luck on your conference call. Now, for all of those who keep asking me about gas stations in New York City, there's actually one right here on the corner of 96th Street. It's a mobile gas station. It's sort of in a parking garage. I used to go here all the time, but yeah, there is a gas station right here on the corner. We'll actually walk down there, but look at how gorgeous this view is. So just for some perception here, this view is facing east. If you take this road all the way down, it'll run you right into Central Park. Really amazing views here. Hey, Marcelo Gill, this is Tom. Goldman Sachs reported third quarter earnings. Yeah, and you know what? We just have so much to talk about. I have some concerns, Marcelo, as it relates to Goldman Sachs earnings report and a lot of others. And it has to do with their well, yeah, I guess we'll talk about it a little bit. So we've been talking a lot about how there's going to be some potential pain in the commercial real estate sector. And a lot of these banks have very big loan books for commercial debt or commercial real estate. But, you know, talking about the consumer side, one of the things that's concerning to me, wow, guys, look at how much of a picturesque shot this is. You have the leaves changing color here, and you have sort of like a cloudy background, but you have that just a little piece of blue sky. That looks really beautiful. It's fantastic here. It's like a really autumn fall day, which I'm adjusting to it a little bit because I was in Miami, Florida all last week, and it was 88 degrees and sunny. Hey, Roy's here from San Francisco. What's up, Roy? Good to see you. But you know, another one of the things, and we're going to do a deep dive on tonight's live stream, but you're starting to see delinquency rates as it relates to consumer debt, so like credit cards, right? So if you look at JP Morgan Chase, Citi, Bank of America, and if you go to their pitch deck, well, their earnings report sort of PowerPoint deck, and if you continue to scroll down on that deck, they provide investors, we'll start to head back into the island a little bit, they provide investors with the delinquency rates for 30, 60, and 90 days on credit cards. And what we're starting to see are those delinquency rates head back up towards pre-pandemic levels. And that's a major concern, and we'll talk about why a little bit later tonight. Hey, Christopher says it's freezing here in South Florida, 7 degrees, but it feels like 50. Really? I don't know, I left South Florida 2 days ago, and it was extremely hot. It was nice. Now look at all these beautiful sort of pre-war homes here with the beautiful fire escapes, lots of brick and mortar. Hey, Daniel G says I bought SPY ETF found today. Didn't want to upgrade commodities with, yeah, well, I mean, that's another thing that we've been watching is crude oil, particularly light crude oil futures. That got a little bit of a pop. due to the horrible atrocities going on over in the Middle East, for sure. BA is here. So hello everybody from Ohio. It's a whopping 51 degrees. Wow. I think it's like 55 here in New York. Okay, this is West End Avenue. You'll notice how West End is very hilly. You can see we're on like a huge incline down here. But this is definitely more of a community, I would say more of a family-oriented neighborhood. Like just have a quick compare and contrast from the 57th Street Billionaires Row that we always walk down, right? Everything is crazy, there's tons of traffic, there's tons of tourists. But here, it's more of like a neighborhood, right? I could see myself, raising a family here and just sort of being away a little bit from the craziness of the city. Yeah, Ren 1018s is great for skateboarding. It is. I've definitely skated my fair share here. I think the only downside, as we all know, is all of the scaffolding here. Just goes on forever. Now this building coming up to the right is really unique. You'll see all of the ivy, sort of all the leaves growing up and down on the building, which looks really nice. Look at that. That is such a unique view. You have this really nice red brick facade with all of the sort of the vines and the ivy growing all over it. Hey, David Sommers, it's great to see you back in New York City. Yeah, it's good to be back. Thank you so much for the warm welcome back. I have about a 2-hour gap before my next meeting, so I thought I'd just quickly give a daytime walking tour of the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Just because very seldom do we ever come up here. Coming up on Broadway. So once we start to head more into the center of the island of Manhattan, you'll start to notice there's a lot more shops, there's a lot more diners, bodegas, restaurants. I would say in between Broadway and Columbus Avenue houses the majority of restaurants, shops, and things like that. You can see them all bordered along the side of Broadway. And this is the main subway station, the 96th Street subway station right here at West 96th and Broadway. This is Texas Rotisserie Grill. Hey, love the Upper West Side. Didn't know what it was. Didn't know what it is, but I've been obsessed with it lately. Cool. Yeah, it definitely is nice. I'd say the Upper West Side in between probably 70th Street all the way up to 90th Street is, I would say, one of my favorite neighborhood to live in New York City. And you'll see why as we continue down. Hey, Ren 1018 says, Tom, saw your Twitter post about Miami charging for motorcycles now. Yeah, it's crazy. So at the Miami International Airport, for the longest time, forever, you used to be able to park your motorcycle, scooter, or Vespa for free for about 30 days. Now it's $12 a day. So it's almost $400 a month now to park a motorcycle or a Vespa scooter at the airport. Which I was thinking about it and it kind of makes sense, right? They probably see all of these New Yorkers and all these people from California moving down to South Florida, and they're like, hey, what an easy way to make additional revenue, because they're used to paying, through the nose and everything. So it's a bummer, man. It's definitely a bummer. I'll probably have to just take Ubers to the airport now. Ooh, look at all these pigeons. It's a cool shot there. Touch the red button, says you close to 86th and Broadway. I would say close enough. I mean, this is 96th and Broadway, right at the main 2, 3, and 1 train entrance here. We'll continue to head down. Look at all these pigeons. Hey, Lorraine Peters, good to see you. We'll cross here and then we'll go over one. Seems like these pigeons are just flying in a big circle. Lorraine Peters says, welcome back. Thank you. It's good to be back. You know, the weather's good. It's not raining anymore, which is nice. This is one of the main subway terminals here. And I want you guys to notice every other block, you'll see all of these brand new developments going up. So these are luxury condominiums. So they're gonna have amenities. The average rental prices are gonna be very expensive. And that's one of the things we've been seeing here in Manhattan. You're starting to see a lot of these luxury condos, new developments, start to push their way further and further and further north. If you watch the video that we recorded as it relates to Central Park North, there's even a lot of really nice luxury condominiums going up at 110th Street Cathedral Parkway and even further up into Harlem. Now, in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, you would have never really seen that. But, you know, now it seems as if you just have new development after new development everywhere, sort of pushing further and further north. You know, I've even heard of really nice apartments and really nice condos coming in over in the Bronx. All right, so this is 95th Street and Broadway. I just want to show you guys something really quick. So right on the corner here, where you see this really, really nice condo. You see how it's all brand new and beautiful, has all interesting architectural design and integrity. Well, this actually used to be a parking garage. And way back in the day, I used to work, this is when I was a kid, I used to work on 83rd Street between Amsterdam and Columbus. And it used to be a parking garage, or it still is a parking garage, like a really rundown, rickety parking garage that used to be a horse stable. And so is this. This used to be an Enterprise rent-a-car, and the developers bought it out. They tore down pretty much the entire parking garage and built these luxury condos. This is 212 West 95th Street. Really nice building, and it looks like they actually have parking inside the building for the residences. It's kind of cool. Hey, CP is here. What's up? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. We'll walk one more over, and then we'll make a right. This is the Halal Guys restaurant. So they actually opened up a storefront here on 95th Street. James B says, good afternoon. What's up, James? Welcome to the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Now, as we make our way down towards the 80s, and as we make a right or we make a left, again, remember, if you make a right headed southbound, that's going to take you towards Riverside Park. If you make a left going southbound, it's going to take you towards Central Park. So you're going to start to see a lot of these really nice brownstone style buildings that are my personal favorite in the city. Hey, Mark Saints says, hey Tom, I'm enjoying this vibe midday walk. Have a great day. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, very seldom do we do these very early on in the day. So whenever I have time, I'd love to quickly showcase a different neighborhood. You can kind of see all the brownstones down here. And if you go 2 more blocks over, you'll hit right into Central Park. Hey, Marcelo Gill says, Tom, how much is the estimate value of a rental apartment in this area? Well, it depends. It varies in a really, really great deal, in a really, really great amount. I'll give you some quick examples. You know, obviously the further north you go on the Upper West Side towards 110th Street Cathedral Parkway, you could actually find some pretty good deals for a studio apartment. And as we've been talking about on Walks on Wall Street for a while, the market is softening, right? Particularly in the luxury sector. So if you look up, you know, on Street Easy, a studio apartment in between 75th Street all the way up to 110th Street, you can find some studio apartments going for $1,750 and some nicer ones going up to $2,200 a month for a studio. Sometimes you could find a 1-bedroom apartment $2,500 to $3,000, but you know, on the Upper West Side, particularly now with the market softening and cooling a little bit, you can find a studio on the Upper West Side of Manhattan for right around $1,700. Hey, Fascinating is here, the ABX girl from the Bronx. Good to see you. Welcome to the Upper West Side of Manhattan. It's a very peaceful and quiet day. I was actually going to walk the other way up towards Columbia University, but I have to be down at 57th Street in about an hour and a half, so unfortunately I can't. Maybe we'll do that another day. But ABX girl, I'm sure you're busy with earnings season. We had Bank of America this morning. We'll talk about that tonight. Trax 101 has ever been to the Wall Street Hotel. So is that the new one that just opened at 82 Wall Street? If that's the case, no, I've never stayed there, but I used to work in that building, which is kind of crazy to think about. That hotel is new, if we're talking about the same one. It's right on the corner of Wall Street and Water Street. That used to be an office building. I used to work there. Oh, check this out. This is the Central Baptist Church, which is located on the corner of 92nd Street and Amsterdam Avenue. Beautiful architecture here, really, really nice. But we'll continue to walk down at least 2 more blocks, and I'll show you some of my favorite brownstones in the neighborhood. Hey, Western Mass Dave's. Tom, what a surprise. Of the highest level. Yeah, Dave, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad everybody's able to see what the Upper West Side of Manhattan looks like during the daytime. It's a beautiful community. It's an amazing community, great place to live. And the reason why we don't come up here very often is because it's very dark at the nighttime when we do the live streams, so you really can't see anything. Right, in Midtown Manhattan, it's all lit up, so it looks good, but here it's very quiet, very quaint, and so you really need to kind of do the streams and showcase it during the day. But I don't know, what do you guys think? From seeing, we started the stream at Riverside Park, right? That's one of the biggest selling points for me, anyway, of the Upper West Side. What do you guys think from first impressions? Could you live on the Upper West Side, or do you think it's better to be in one of those high-rise luxury apartments in maybe Midtown Manhattan or on Billionaires Row or even down in Lower Manhattan. I don't know, I think for me, particularly since I work in Midtown, it's kind of nice to be able to come back to the Upper West Side where it's a little bit more quiet, a little bit away from everything. B Cruise is 100%. Drew 1234 says, isn't Riverside Park kind of dangerous? It is not. Roy says, I stayed in the Upper West Side a couple times. I really like it there. Hey, Andre Almar says, it's quite charming and quiet. I like it. Yeah, I think I agree with you guys. Trax 101 is correct. I didn't realize it was new either. Yeah, so that hotel, another interesting thing about that, if you watch my standalone walking video, I gave a tour of Wall Street. I think the title of the video is called Why Wall Street Isn't What It Used to Be. And right where the Wall Street Hotel is, that's where the Buttonwood Agreement was signed. So that is the first essential document to create the first stock exchange pretty much in the world and in the United States right there in the 1700s. And it was signed quite literally right outside the Wall Street Hotel. Now it's kind of vacant down there. It's kind of empty, right? As it relates to major financial firms. And it's kind of funny we're talking about this today because, well, it is earnings season and all of the Wall Street mega banks are reporting earnings pretty much yesterday throughout the rest of the week. And the last standing bulge bracket mega bank on Wall Street was Deutsche Bank. And they were located at 60 Wall Street. They have since left 60 Wall Street and they are now at the Time Warner Center at 59th Street, Columbus Circle. So a lot of people who are not from New York or not too familiar with the financial markets, they still think of Wall Street with Lower Manhattan and the physical street of Wall Street, but not really, almost no financial activity goes on down there anymore. If you want to think about investment banking, family offices, hedge funds, and the like, that's all in Midtown Manhattan. It's all on Park Avenue. It's in and around Times Square North area. You know, like think about all of the major investment banks. Morgan Stanley in Times Square, right on the northernmost side there. You think about BNP Paribas, the French investment bank, Midtown Manhattan, Barclays, Mizuho, Bank of America Tower right on 42nd Street and Avenue of the Americas near Bryant Park. And now on Park Avenue, JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon, is building his super tall Class A office tower. You know what, maybe it actually will be good to quickly take a detour here. So let's do that. And I'll sort of explain why. You're gonna see some really nice brownstones right here. And these are, in my opinion, some of the best architecture, some of the most beautiful architecture anywhere. It's right here on the Upper West Side. All right, check this out. This is really, really nice here. Let's see if the wide angle will work. All right, let me know in the comments if the wide angle camera lens works good. And look at the facades on all of these original brownstone style buildings here. Isn't that really nice? And the thing is, a lot of tourists, they don't come up this way. And so they're not able to see the amazing architecture of a lot of these older buildings. I mean, just look at, they just go on for rows and rows and rows of all this amazing architecture here. Hey, Anonymous is beautiful. Lauren Peters is very nice. B. Cruz is gorgeous, aren't they? They're really amazing. This is one of the things I love about New York City, is just the diversity in architecture. I could definitely see myself coming here, after a long day at work and, walking up the steps to your house. I mean, that's sort of like the dream right here. Now, some of them are their own dedicated townhouses, but others have multiple apartments in here. Hey, the investigator says, hello, Tom. Nice to see you in the daytime. Thank you for the walk. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, anytime I get a chance, I'll try to do more of these daytime walks if I have like a 2-hour break or something in the schedule. So if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far today, feel free to leave a like on the stream and click the subscribe button if you're new. I'll try to do as many of these daytime walking tours showcasing a different neighborhood as much as possible. But they're amazing. Beautiful, beautiful buildings. And you're starting to see a lot of them get decorated for Halloween. Western Mass Dave says, Tom, are you taking time out for lunch? No, I was meeting with a potential client that's looking to list one of their apartments, and I was on the Upper West Side meeting with him. And I was like, you know what, I might as well stream the neighborhood because I have to go back down to 57th Street anyway. Yeah, but they're really nice. I think there's an interesting listing just a little bit further down the block. I think Brown Harris Stevens is listing the townhome here. But I mean, just look at all the detail. It's beautiful. Here's another one. They're probably doing a complete gut renovation here. One of my favorite things about these are these original doors here. They're those really heavy, maybe oak wood style doors. But this one's for sale. If anybody's watching that's interested, feel free to reach out to me. This is sort of what we specialize here at the Kirsten Jordan team. Ooh, but this one is really nice. Look at that. It has all ivy growing down the sides. Running at altitude says, how is the noise inside? Can you hear your neighbors? Yeah, I mean, I would assume there's definitely going to be noise. I mean, this is city living, right? That's just something that sort of comes with the territory. But the good news is these buildings are built very well, obviously, because they were built a very, very long time ago. So there's a lot of brick and mortar, right? It's not the very thin and flimsy particle board that unfortunately a lot of the new construction nowadays has. I mean, if you've ever been out to places, where they're building a lot of single family homes, like some parts of Texas, a lot of those single family homes, I mean, not to be a hater or anything, but they're built with all this flimsy like particle board, and it just doesn't feel like it's very durable. I don't know. Would you guys agree with that or disagree? Hey, Daniel G, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Ooh, I really like these ones. This one looks all brand new and remodeled. It looks like they installed these really nice floor-to-ceiling glass windows here. Look at that. This one's decorated really nice for autumn. Running at altitudes, as I would agree, new homes are put together poorly. And again, I wouldn't say all, but a lot. It just, I mean, they don't build it like they used to. I mean, look at the architecture here, all of this, I mean, the massive brickwork, the stonework. I mean, they just don't make them like they used to. I was touring a townhouse at Midtown East the other day for a potential client. And one of the things I noticed that really made the biggest difference, it's going to sound like such a small detail, but the doors to all of the bedrooms, they're so heavy. You know, in those older homes, I mean, they're like big slabs of wood, right, with cast iron trim. And if you've ever been in like a new development now, like the doors are just like, almost like it's cardboard. Not to sound like I'm complaining, but, and I understand they're trying to build things that are more affordable, but, you know, the weight of the doors just adds that, you know, nicer touch. All right, so now we are going to head down. This is where the majority of, I would say, the good restaurants, coffee shops are here on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Now, if you notice as we approach 87th Street, if you look all the way in the distance at the top left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to notice a massive skyscraper sticking up. That's Central Park Tower. So Central Park Tower on Billionaires Row is so tall that it can pretty much be seen all the way from the Upper West Side. Let me know in the chat if you guys can see that. But this building right here is Extel's Central Park Tower. Really amazing. I mean, look at the architectural contrast from Central Park Tower to the buildings you see across the street. I mean, it's almost like you're in a completely different city. Hey, Techno Pink, it's good to see you. This is hello from EY at the Dominican Republic. Good to see you, Techno Pink. So, yeah, EY is a major consulting firm, and they actually have a little bit of breaking news here in Times Square. EY has now vacated their location in Times Square, and they've actually moved to the Hudson Yards. So EY is joining KPMG in the Hudson Yards, and a lot of other major consulting firms are moving there as well. We've talked about this move multiple times. You're starting to see a big flight to quality, I would say like the Class A office towers, and away from a lot of the older style buildings, particularly in Times Square, right? Because over the years, Times Square has gotten a little bit, well, it's not a place I would want to work in, let's just say that. Hey, Ukrainian Royal, what's up? I see D is here. Hey D, welcome to the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Thanks for joining us. This is now 86th Street, I should say West 86th Street. If you go back down to Broadway, you can get the 1 train. So on the Upper West Side, you can get pretty much, has, I would say, the best train coverage, way better than the Upper East Side. You have the 1, 2, and 3 trains. Obviously, the 2 and 3 run express, and the 1 train runs local. It's actually shaping up to be a really nice day. It's not hot, it's like a nice fall day. Yeah, Techno Pink, let me know if you're ever going to be in New York. Hopefully they'll allow you to work out of the new EY office over there. Now, you know what I also heard from one of my friends who worked in Morgan Stanley? I didn't know this, but in the Nürburgring Berman building, right across from UBS, Apparently there was a very, very small office for Morgan Stanley in there. I never knew that. And they sent out a notice that they're going to lay off all of those employees and close down the office there at Nürburgring Berman. So right here on the corner of West 85th Street, this is one of my favorite breakfast places in all of New York City. It's called Good Enough to Eat. It's right on the corner of West 85th, right in front of us. This is a good coffee shop too, called Joe Coffee. And you can still see Central Park Tower in the background. Hey, the ABX girl says, yeah, that's a retail branch. I was laid off from Morgan Stanley way back during the crisis. I hope their severance is okay. It's a retail branch, really, of Morgan Stanley? I didn't know that. Yeah, because I was at Nürburgring Berman yesterday. I had a meeting there. And yeah, one of my friends advised me on that. I mean, it's horrible to hear. You never want to hear that, but then again, you know, it kind of makes sense, right? The ABX girl, because a lot of big financial firms are trying to sublease their space in a lot of these office towers here in Manhattan because they just have too much space, right? Now, again, if you work in IB, right, or something like that, you've been back to the office for a long time, but big banks are, I mean, they're huge. You can have back office people, you could have mortgage people. I mean, we all know what's happening to anybody who works in the mortgage business or the real estate business now. There is no business. You know, so they're trying to cut costs and they have so much overhead for this office space. The ABX girl says, yes, back office for Morgan Stanley was in Jersey City and 42nd Street, Times Square. Yeah, I know about the Times Square location. So Nürburgring Berman, I'm sure you know where that is. It's right across the street from the UBS. So I would say adjacent to the flagship Hilton Hotel. All right, in a little bit here, we are going to come up on the Museum of Natural History. And then if you make a left and walk one block, you're going to see Central Park. And as we head down, you'll notice a lot of the foot traffic is going to start to pick up because the further down you go, the more, I would say, touristy the area is, particularly as you get closer to the museums. Okay, West 81st Street. Right to the left is the Museum of Natural History. You could actually cut across and go all the way to the east side of Manhattan from here as well. Just put my bag down. Now you could have a better view of some of the architecture here. So I think right in between here is the brand new exhibit. I think it's a butterfly exhibit. You know what? I wanted to try something out. Let me know if you guys could see this QR code on the screen, and can you let me know if it works? So this is going to be the new link to the newsletter. So for those of you who don't know, every other Thursday after the market closes, so after the closing bell, I'm going to send out an email everybody, my market thoughts update. So the newsletter is going to consist of global equity markets, fixed income, and real estate. I sent it out last Thursday at the closing bell. So next Thursday, we are going to get another one. So if you want to stay up to date and receive all of my equity research for free, let me know if the link works. Scan it, you can punch in your email, and oh, look at that dog. Love golden retrievers. So you could scan it, punch in your email, and you could sign up to the Substack for free. And every other Thursday at the market close, you will receive all of my equity research for free. Oh, you guys are saying it worked? Well, that's good, because I think it's a lot easier for the QR code than sending the link in the chat. So I don't know, I was playing around with the QR code generator last night. I was like, what if I could just put something on the screen? Oh, you know what? This is, well, I believe this was the old Brown Harris Stevens, and I think this is going to go away. Brown Harris Stevens is moving over one block, so this is going to be vacant. So I'm not too sure what's going to go in here. This is, I think, over 4,000 square feet of space here, but they're moving to Broadway. So this is going to be totally vacant. All right, and that very unique looking building across the street is the brand new exhibit. We'll wait for the light and then we'll cross. Let me try to get this down now. Ah, Keith, is that right? So the live chat comes up on the screen. So position it to the left. Copy that, 10-4. So what do you guys think of this? I don't think I've ever taken you here on the stream. It's a beautiful park. Look at how amazing it is. And then this is the brand new entrance of the new exhibit at the Museum of Natural History. It's a very unique looking building. The architecture is definitely a lot different than the original building. But I think they did a good job. What do you guys think? They made it a really walkable, really nice park. They have lots of seating. Lots of benches, and it looks good in the fall. Landscaping looks great. Oh, the guy's saying it's closed. Let's check the pricing. So admission pricing for New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut residences. General admission is $25. Wow. You know, for some reason, I remember when I was in college, I used to get into these places for free. But now, I guess students have to pay. Because I remember going here literally almost every day with my friends. Wait, hold on 1 second. I don't know, I think they discontinued that. I think students have to pay. Well, look, $25 is not bad because, I mean, if anybody's ever been to the Met Museum on the East Side, it kind of takes almost 2 days to get through the entire thing. It's hard to get through the entire museum in one day. Yeah, Beacon, New York, it kind of does look like the Guggenheim Museum, doesn't it? Anonymous is a very interesting place. Imagine the views of Central Park from that building across the street. Yeah, Dave says $25 is reasonable in my opinion. I think it is too. Depending on how, I mean, assuming just how big the museum is, it's a pretty good deal. Still under construction, so we'll try to maneuver our way down a little bit. D says, Tom, are you adjusting to the colder weather? I think I'll probably be adjusted in a couple days. It's not super cold though here in the city. I think it's because it's not windy. Thank God. So we're now walking down Columbus Avenue. Here's another good example. A lot of the side streets on the Upper West Side, they have all of these beautiful canopies. So you have so many trees that are lining the streets that you have these beautiful canopies that keep your street really cool in the summer. You know, one of the main problems about living, you know, in Tribeca, sort of downtown, or even in, you know, like by Canal Street in Chinatown, there's no trees that line the streets. So it's one of the hottest places in Manhattan, particularly during the summer. Hey, Miss Bash, good to see you. Corey says afternoon stream appreciated. Yeah, I'll try to do as many of these as I can. One of the things that I'm trying to do in Q4 is extreme prioritization of time. So if I'm somewhere, right, because I travel around the city a lot, you know, I was on the Upper West Side, I was meeting with a potential client, and I have to go back down to 57th Street, but I have like a 2-hour window. I could just commute and get there early and, you know, kind of fill my time with nothing, or you know, maybe I could pop on the stream and show you guys what it looks like and what it would look like to live here during the daytime. This place is a really nice outdoor dining setup right here on the corner of West 77th Street and Columbus Avenue. It's a nice place. Hey, Alexander Fitzgerald, it's good to see you. I think we'll have time to go down to 72nd Street, Central Park West, and see the Dakota, which is arguably one of the most famous buildings anywhere in New York City. Here's another good example of the street with all the brownstones on it. This is one of my favorite views in the city, right here. Check this out. As we move the camera to the left, those are two of my favorite buildings. And the view is even better from inside of Central Park, right at the reservoir looking west. Love those buildings. Hey, Rudolph's, it's afternoon. What happened? Change of schedule. No, we're just sort of doing this sort of one-off. I'm going to try to do as many daytime streams as I can. But thank you for joining. Good to see you. Now this building is the J.M. Horton Ice Cream Company. Now it's obviously not an ice cream company anymore, but back in the day it used to be. There's a Lenwich here, right on Columbus Avenue. But there's pretty much everything you could imagine here on the Upper West Side. Look at this big group of bikers. Look at this. That's probably an amazing bike ride. They probably went all through Riverside, all through Central Park. Well, they're probably headed to Central Park now. They're probably coming from Riverside. And then here's another view. Man, that's gorgeous buildings over there. And you see all the brownstones and the backdrop. All right, let's head to the Dakota. So for all of those watching who don't know, the Dakota Apartments, it's on 72nd Street and Central Park West. It is a very famous building, obviously due to John Lennon. And if you just take a few more steps inside Central Park, you're going to see strawberry fields. People have time to do that too. We're right here anyway. This is 73rd Street. Now, if you're looking to move to the Upper West Side, the best coffee shop in the city is to your right. It's called Black Press Coffee right here. Right on the corner of West 73rd Street and Columbus. It's the best coffee shop in the city. Someone says the bars is the best coffee. It's pretty good. I wouldn't say the best, but I definitely do agree that it's pretty good. Look at this building in the distance here. I love that green trim. Now, I think the green trim is just the, what is it, like copper that's been exposed to the elements, I believe? Or like cast iron that's rusting a little bit that gives it that green look. I'm not too sure, but I think that's what it is. The one and only Dakota. I think we might as well cross the street so you guys can see it from a distance. And then you could see Central Park all the way down at the end of the block. But if you're all enjoying the live stream, the daytime Upper West Side walking tour, feel free to click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We do our main walking show talking about the financial markets starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. But I'll try to do as many as I can during the day. Oh, I think you're right, RB. This could be bronze. I think you're correct. I think you're right. I think it is bronze. And then it, what is it called? Metallicizes or something? I forget the exact name. But I think you're spot on. I think you're right. So this is the Dakota. You can see at the top left-hand corner of your screen, which has really nice Gothic style architecture. Oh wow, Long Island Duck 52 says my daughter lives near the restaurant you see on. To the right, this is Majestic. This is also another really nice building. I think one of my team members has a listing here. Jill Purcell. She's one of the best real estate brokers anywhere in Manhattan as it relates to new development product. Okay, here it is. We are now officially standing outside the Dakota. Really beautiful building. Hey Connie, this is the Dakota. Hey everybody and Tom, what's up? Thanks for joining us. And if you look closely, you can see the original gas lanterns. Yeah, Dave, you can see a little bit of the architecture better here, you know, during the day. At night it looks cool too, but I think during the daytime it looks a little bit better. It's a little bit more clear. And this is one of the main entrances to Central Park. Right here at 72nd Street and Central Park West. So you can go either uptown or downtown. And all the way in the distance, you could see Billionaires Row, Central Park Tower, and 220 Central Park South. This is always one of my favorite shots to get here. You can see in the distance, this is 432 Park Avenue. It sits right in between the tree line here. 432 Park. And this is going to be an even better view of Dakota from the other side of the street. Since we're here, let's check out Strawberry Fields. Might as well. Hey, Zulma says, thank you for this stream. Beautiful day. Thanks so much for being here. This is a cool shot of the horse. And in the background, you have Central Park Tower and 220 Central Park South. Oops, sorry. And now this is Strawberry Fields. All right, let's head back out. We'll make a left on Central Park West. Stephanie, what's up? Good to see you. This will take us all the way down to 59th Street, Columbus Circle. Yeah, Long Island ducks, like in a few weeks, the leaves will be changing color. They kind of already are. Looks really nice. If you look closely on the ground, you could already see a lot of leaves falling. Hey, Western Mass Dave, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, if you look into Central Park, all right, I think we should be out of the buffer zone now. Hey, Pam B, what's up? Yeah, Pam, the Upper West Side's beautiful. Now we may enter, yeah, we might as well enter here. We are now inside Central Park. To the right of us is the very famous Tavern on the Green. And then you could see pretty much the entire skyline of Billionaire's Row. You see 432 Park Avenue, you see the Steinway Tower here, 157 Central Park Tower, and 220 Central Park South. Hey Estelle, good to see you, thanks for joining us. On this daytime walking tour in New York. It appears there's going to be some big event going on at Tavern on the Green. It looks like they're setting up for something. Look at that. So peaceful in Central Park. So we are right next to Sheep Meadow. Hey, L the Original, what's up? Good to see you. You can see the Trump International Hotel and Tower in the distance as well. Victor, good to see you. L, the Originals. Just working, just watching while working from my desk. I'm about to be in my desk at like 15 minutes to get some stuff done. It's busy, busy week. It's earnings season. Yogi, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Now, if anybody remembers from the live stream we did during that crazy storm, the bridges were totally filled with water in here. It's kind of crazy to compare and contrast that to now. And off to the right, you have 15 Central Park West, or the limestone building. Yeah, I know, Yogi, it's been raining like crazy. I think this is the most rain New York City has had in a September. This was the bridge that was totally filled with water down here. I'm curious to see what it looks like now. That's crazy. Does anybody remember that? For those of you who don't, the water was all the way up to the top of this bridge, if you can even believe that. That's insane, seeing it now. The water was all the way up to here, and that's not an exaggeration. The water went from here all the way to that tree right down there. It's insane. All right, let's head back into the city. This is now 59th Street, Columbus Circle. I know, Michael, that's true. Right there is amazing shots of Billionaires Row. All right, everybody, I got to go back to work now. But if you enjoyed that walking tour of the Upper West Side of Manhattan, feel free to leave a like on the video. Click the subscribe button if you're new. We will be live tonight at 8:30 p.m. And if you want to sign up for our free investing newsletter, you can go ahead and scan the QR code on the screen. So every other Thursday, after the closing bell, I will send out all of my equity research to the viewers of Walks on Wall Street for free. We cover US equity markets, global equity markets, fixed income, and real estate. So if you want to stay informed and stay up to date, feel free to scan the QR code, punch in your email, and you will be subscribed for free to our Substack, or type !news, NEWS, in the chat, and the Nightbot will drop the link to the newsletter. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Tuesday, and I will see you all later tonight, live from New York City, as we cover earnings season. Take care, everybody. I got to get back to the office, and have a wonderful rest of your day.